I'm here at Daytona Milton Keynes, a place I haven't been to in quite a number of years, to race in an event called the Duos, alongside a very notable YouTube star as my teammate. Cameron Das is a single-seater champion and a phenomenon on YouTube, and we're going to try and do as well as we can in today's event, which we've been kindly invited to compete in by Daytona. So I headed inside and was greeted with lots of people wearing worryingly good kit.
Okay, so it turned out this is a much more serious event than I've given it credit for. I think it's part of an actual championship called SuperChamps, and everyone else here clearly knows what they're doing and is wearing proper kit. And it's a version of the track that I've never seen before. Cool, Cameron's nearly here, and I think we're about to get weighed. Right, I've just built us some temporary lead seats. It's going to save maybe a couple of seconds in the pits, but someone kindly lent us their duct tape, so we're good. And now it's time for the briefing, so let's go in there and do that.
So I met Cameron and we assessed our chances.
We've been discussing strategy. We're a bit scared because there's lots of really fast people here. We've just been having to fashion our own lead seat things.
I would say it's a pretty expert job. I think that's going to work pretty well.
I've used a roll of duct tape before, as you saw. Luckily, I brought a whole box of lead sheet with me because I suspected something like this might happen.
Good thing you did, because I was definitely not prepared.
Next up, briefing, then qualifying, and then let's see what happens.
First things first, we have a short safety video for you to watch.
All right, briefing done. I think we kind of understand the rules, so here we go. Karts are in there ready. I think we've got a strategy. Cameron has very flatteringly said he thinks I might be faster, so I should do the end of qualifying when the kart's hottest and the fuel's lightest and everything. So I'm kind of fine with that, although I don't know whether he's right. So we'll find out in a minute, and we'll go do some driving. Qualifying up next.
So we headed down to the pit lane for the start of qualifying, but conditions looked changeable.
It's sunny, it's also raining, and the track's still damp from this morning, so it's slippy as hell. It's already slippery around here. I remember this track is always really greasy. It's never been like the grippiest, most abrasive of tracks, so that is going to be a nightmare. Wish me luck.
As Cameron got ready for qualifying, I noticed an old friend in the paddock.
We've got Ryan Lindsay, who is like, I don't know, GT3 driver, Silverstone instructor, done loads of stuff. Obviously ridiculously good go-kart driver as well.
We'll see.
Wait, is this your teammate?
This is my teammate, Alex Spooner.
Is he really good too?
He's good, yeah.
By this point, we were fully aware of what we were up against, and it was Cameron's time to head to the kart for his qualifying stint.
Qualifying went well. I think we've got quite a good car, which is nice to have in a rental kart race. Cam says we're like third, so third would be good.
Don't quote me on it. Yeah, I think so.
We'll find out soon. But it felt grippy and dry, right?
Yeah, apart from the downhill section.
Normally, like ballsy down the hill, braking really late, and today in these karts I was like, they've moved the tyres a lot closer on the exit too. But I'm not going in. I'm not looking like an idiot today.
I will admit, I might have hit one tire off, but it was not in the brake zone. It was actually afterwards. It messed up because I braked too late, ended up going offline, and then it just pulls you out instantly.
We have to now properly race at the start with a bunch of people who are all really hungry to win. Let's see what we do. Right, see you after stint 1.
So it was looking good. We were starting third on the grid with every opportunity to move forward in the race, and all we needed was a nice clean start. In this event, you had to leave a mandatory 1 kart length gap to the kart in front. So I did that and got ready for the launch. It was important not to lose any positions early on, but at turn 2, this happened. Let's just pause that for a moment, rewind, and ride on board with Club 100 champion Logan McAllister to find out what exactly went wrong. So there it is, and I felt it straight away. A nudge from behind pushes me deep into the corner, and on the exit, that same driver tries to go around the outside. Finally, Logan has nowhere to go but into the back of me, sending me hard into the tyre wall, and I was lucky not to be spun around. I'm then stuck in this impossible position, knowing I'm on the outside for the following corner, but with no way to get back to the inside. This allows another couple of karts through, and in no time at all, we've gone from a podium position down to 7th place. But thankfully, that's where the bleeding stops. So after slightly leaning on the blue kart to my right-hand side on the exit of this corner, my sights are fully set on moving back forward. But with a 5-second gap to the leaders, and 6 karts now ahead of me, this wasn't going to be an easy task. But desperate not to ruin the race for Cameron, and eager to make up the ground I'd lost, I set about catching the first driver. and 3 laps later I was on his tail and working out how to make a move. I knew we had no time to lose, and this move had to be made at the very first opportunity. So I made my first ever move into the bus stop, and thankfully the wet patch didn't push me too wide, so it was then full focus on catching the next train of karts. And after a few laps of pushing extremely hard and making no mistakes, I found myself on the tail of the next kart, number 112, who had thankfully been cast adrift of the pack in front, giving me an opportunity to pounce into the hairpin. Up to 5th place now and feeling good about my pace, we were getting closer to the leading pack. But there was still a lot of work to do if we were going to make it back to the podium. The next driver in my sights was our friend from lap 1, former Super 1 frontrunner Logan McAllister, and he was now fully aware that I was closing in. This one wasn't going to be easy, but by sticking close behind, I could pressure him into a few small mistakes. A grassy moment at the exit of the bus stop and a missed apex at the hairpin were all I needed to close right into his bumper before my favourite passing spot, the hairpin at turn 4. So that was now 4th place, one more to go until we were back on the podium. This time I was again able to capitalise on a slight error from my competitor at the bottom hairpin. But the move wouldn't happen in the bus stop this time. A dummy to the right down the main straight and then a flick to the left gave me the run into the very fast left-hander near the end of the lap. And we were through back to the podium positions, but the job wasn't done yet. The 2 karts in front had a sizable gap, but I could see I was gaining on them bit by bit every lap. And to make things even more difficult, the next kart was our friend, GT3 driver Ryan Lindsay, and ahead of him, in the lead, local expert Sebastian Musica. But importantly, they were now both in my sights. I'd managed to close them down, which gave me the confidence that I was definitely faster, and given a few more laps, I could catch and pass them. But we were now getting very close to the driver swap time. I could see Cameron on the pit wall getting ready to race, and I now had very limited time to make something happen. And just to throw some more excitement into the mix, all 3 of us were approaching a back marker, and it would be crucial to pass them as soon as possible. As Ryan and Seb slipped by, I knew I now had to make the move fast, but I wasn't anticipating the driver in black defending into the final corner. So with that unnecessary battle out of the way, I have one more shot to catch the pair of leaders before the pit stops. After a nightmare start, we'd somehow managed to claw our way back into contention and finally had a shot at passing for 2nd place or for the lead. But Sebastian raised his arm, indicating he was coming into the pits, leaving just Ryan Lindsay and me on track to continue the fight for the lead. After all this hard work, I was desperate for a shot to overtake Ryan, but I could see Cameron waving from the pit wall and I knew my stint was over. So all that was left to do was dive into the pit lane, drive over the weighbridge, and continue painfully slowly to where Cameron was waiting for his turn in the driver's seat. And this is where building our last-minute weight seat really came into play. I managed to whip the lead out quickly, and Cameron exited the pits in the lead. We managed to jump both of the karts we were racing with a really fast driver change.
He nailed the pit stop. They have the lead. Out goes Cameron down. He's going to feed out the pits right in front of Sebastian Musica. Race on.
So with my work done, it was over to Cameron to see if we could hang on to a podium position for the final 20 minutes.
Okay, so my stint is done. As you will have seen on the video, started off third, got bundled down to about 7th or 8th on the first lap, and then spent the rest of my half an hour gradually clawing back. Fortunately, I think we were actually the quickest out there. I think I got the fastest lap, and we did actually have the pace, which is really nice. I'd rather be a bit unlucky at the start, but ultimately have some pace. So, and we got right back up to fighting for the lead on the final lap before the pit. So, yeah, good that. And now let's see what Cameron can do to bring it home.
But unfortunately for me and Cameron, there was one racer out on track having an incredible run. Despite pumping in some brilliant lap times, little by little Cameron was being hunted down and eventually passed by the unstoppable Sebastian Musica. Without a teammate and driving the entire hour on his own, Sebastian had fully earned this race win. So now the question was, could we hold on to our podium?
Okay, just under 10 minutes to go. Cameron's got about a 10-second lead to the kart in third place and lapping at a similar pace. So it's going to be about the weather and it's going to be about traffic. So he's not going to lose this position based on lap times. He's got the pace to stay ahead. It's just about what happens with the traffic, and that, as we know, can be very unpredictable.
And with no immediate threat from behind, it should have been plain sailing to the finish. But once again, the lapped traffic had other ideas.
Okay, so 2.5 minutes to go, which is like 2 and a bit laps. Cameron is currently being defended against by a back marker, which is not ideal because that means the guys in third are catching. I think he's okay. Oh, he's finally through. Oh no, he's not through. The back marker is hanging us out to dry. Guys, just a bit of a heads up for anyone watching this who is a budding racer. Don't race the leaders, please. I've got a sticker about it on my online store. There's a blue flag sticker. Don't race the leaders. Why are you racing us? It's not for position. Anyway, there we go.
So as Sebastian Musica came home to a glorious victory, Cameron was doing a great job at keeping hold of our second place. But nothing would be certain until he crossed the line.
Cameron, don't get taken out by this guy. Don't get taken out. I mean, there we go. Fat Mark is still racing him, but we're in P2. Here's the winner. Did a great job, raced on his own. Sebastian. We passed the weight check.
So it was official. We'd managed to survive an incredibly difficult race and hold our own against some very strong local competition. The Daytona Duos SuperChamps format proved to be perfect for anyone who wanted to team up with a friend or race as an individual for an hour in a well-organised but ultimately quite serious event.
Finishing in second place, and they weren't leading the race effectively. They tasted victory with a best lap of a 1:08.770. Top number 109, Team Das Cool.
Sometimes it's a really good thing to be pushed outside of your comfort zone and try something different with a teammate you've never met before. And this event was one of those times. Thank you to Daytona, and maybe I can convince Cameron to come and race in a GX UK round at some point this year. Let me know what you thought of the Daytona Duos and this video in the comments below, and if you enjoyed watching, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you out on the track next time. Thanks for watching.